I'd spent a lot of time in the beverage industry, and that's kind of my passion, and that's the business I know really well. I'm also in recovery. And 4 or 5 years ago, I had the idea that, what beverage goes with this recovery world, and coffee's just part of it. It's almost, part of recovery. As a matter of fact, in the literature and AA, it's referred to 6 different times. So coffee's part of getting sober. And so I thought, well, why not try to bring those two things together? I knew a lot about launching beverage products, although they had all been liquid beverages. And I understood that it would be successful in the recovery community, but also what I thought was the model that I wanted to pursue was something like Newman's Own, or maybe like a cross between Newman's Own, which is a philanthropic company that donates all its profits to charitable causes, and like Girl Scout Cookies, which is non-profit supporting the Girl Scout organization, that's sort of a peer-to-peer model. So it's kind of a blend between those two. Well, I saw the need in Bloomington for halfway houses, and there was only one major halfway house in town, and it was difficult to get into. There's a limited number of beds, and there were a lot of people waiting and a lot of people with no safe place to go to begin a recovery journey. And having that foundation is critical. So the idea was a small halfway house started up called Courage to Change, and they were struggling. And I thought, well, perhaps we can use profits from this to help support them as they grow and develop. A lot of people, have really crashed hard and don't have a place to live and don't have a job, and probably are alienated from people that might have supported them, and they don't really have any place to turn. And housing's an important part of beginning a recovery journey. And I wanted this to be affordable. I wanted this to be something that people could drink every day, and would appeal to a broad audience. So I kind of scaled back my aspirations and kind of aimed for a Starbucks sort of quality product. And I found a really cool company up in Fort Wayne that's a co-packer for me. So in other words, we developed a blend that we really liked and that I really liked. And it is a high quality European French roast styled coffee, our Dark Before Dawn blend. So I mean, it's kind of playing on the vernacular and recovery, and it is darkest before dawn. And that sort of matched up nicely with a dark roast coffee too. So we kind of stayed with that theme, and so the medium roast is Dawn Surly Light. It's almost like we're moving progressively from dark to light. And the next item will be a light roast, which will be called On Awakening. Yeah, well, specifically we're working locally with Courage to Change, which is a halfway house that doesn't receive any other funding than just what they generate themselves, and also the clients pay a little bit of rent to stay there. So that's where the money's going locally, and what our mission is to donate all our profits to recovery organizations, nonprofit recovery organizations that are helping people with addiction. It's hard to make money right away. So what I committed to doing was to donate a scholarship each month for somebody at Courage to Change. So in other words, people come in and they don't have any money at all to begin their recovery journey, and they don't have a job, so they don't have any way of supporting themselves. So we'll pay their first 2 weeks there, or their first month there. And we've been doing that regardless of the level of profit that's happening at Sober Joe. That it's about trauma-based healing, and it's not about putting people in jail, and it's not about criminalizing the recovery and treatment of addiction, but rather looking at the sources of the addiction and then helping to actually heal that. And they're also big supporters of 12-step programs. But at any rate, they're also fledgling in a startup, although they're very legitimate and have again one of the renowned treatment leaders in treatment today. But so the profits from the sales online and the profit from our e-commerce business will go to Compassion for Addiction. It means a lot, and particularly in this town that I've really become vested in, and it's really, I'm part of this community, especially part of the recovery community, and I see the need, and there's so many problems today, and it's easy for people to throw up their hands and say, well, what can I do? And this was one place that I felt really like I could dig in and make a difference. And it really is one person at a time, and we're helping a person at a time, and it adds up. What I want to communicate is that it's a great cause, and I think people recognize that, and people want to try to help. But beyond that, it's not a novelty item. It's not something you buy like Girl Scout cookies and give to somebody else, or eat a box and you're done with them. This is a good everyday drinking coffee, and it's high quality, and you can help every day. And if you wonder how you can help, it's easy enough. You buy our coffee or buy a t-shirt or a hat, and you're contributing to providing a solution in the community.
Okay, we're outside the world headquarters of Courage to Change in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm with Misty. And Misty, can you tell us about Courage to Change and the work they do, and also, your full name and your title there?
So my name is Misty James. I'm a women's case manager for Courage to Change Sober Living. I've been involved with Courage to Change since 2019 when I was a client there. I left the program and got into my own housing, and then I joined the board in 2020 and was on the board from 2020 to about 2024 when I actually joined this staff. Courage to Change has 5 houses in Bloomington, 3 men's houses and 2 women's houses. Our capacity with men and women is about 37. Our average length of stay for each client really varies, but around the average is about 9 months. They can stay with us for up to 1 year in our program, and it is a minimum of 90 days.
Who do you think is best suited to use Courage to Change, and how do you think that helps a person? And is it a good place to start in a recovery journey?
I think that the Courage to Change, the best possible client for Courage to Change is someone with an IOP or a residential program under their belt, and that they just need a little bit more secure housing after they leave those 90-day IOP programs, and then they're on to sober living. So folks who are a little advanced in their recovery journey, I think are the best suited.
Thanks. And tell us how you ended up at Courage to Change and your kind of backstory about how you became affiliated with them.
Yeah, so I was a local homeless, unhoused community member. I was a heroin addict, and I've been in and out of the jail, the criminal system multiple times, and I was finally afforded an opportunity to do a treatment program. I went to Amethyst House, completed Amethyst House, and I was like, I can't come this far to just come this far. And so I applied to Courage to Change, and I got in there. And at the time that I got into Courage to Change, the program was a 2-year program, and I stayed there for 17 months.
All right. And so how long have you been there altogether now?
So I left the Amethyst House in 2019, and I've stuck with Courage to Change in some capacity, whether it be a client or on the board or a case manager, since then to my present spot.